Hey guys, 681 Shadow, one of your analysts for the IBL, and today we are recording Game of the Week for Week 6, and I do apologize if this narration is a bit lackluster than usual for at least my standards, because I've been a bit strapped for time, so I haven't really seen this battle in too much depth, so I will try my best to have as good of a narration as possible. So, this week, I'm not too sure of the team names because they're just implementing team names like for, I believe, next season. So we have Chime versus Eric for this matchup, and the teams that they brought. Chime brought the Smeargle, Magirna, I believe that Pessimian, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's the other monkey, then Zygarde, Vaporeon, and Porygon 2. Meanwhile, Eric brought the Tapu Koko, Gastrodon, Porygon Z, Alolan Sandslash, I believe that's Arachnid, and then Alolan Ninetales. So, without further ado, we can start playing battle. So, we lower that a bit so I don't like kill myself in the hearing. And the Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle thing looks really cool. I haven't actually done any Wi-Fi battles on my end for Sun and Moon. So, alright, we have. It's actually. Oh, never mind. Alright, so he issues a challenge. So, Eric is going to lead off with the Tapu Koko, as his Chime leads off with the Smeargle, probably to set up hazard, as Smeargle normally does. So, Electric Surge, you get Electric Terrain up, so the Tapu Koko here, predicting the hazards, is going to go for the Taunt, which is really nice, so that this Smeargle can't set up webs, rocks, whatever it wanted to go for, as you saw there, it wanted to go for. So it's going to be forced to switch out right here. And Chime is going to go into the Porygon 2, as he gets a download boost, which will give it a special attack boost against the Tapu Koko. Now he's going to go for the Nature's Madness and do about half to the Porygon 2, which that's pretty high damage. So now he's going to go for the Taunt again to prevent this from going for Recover. So this is really good play from Eric's side so far with the Tapu Koko. Now he's going to go for the Volt Switch right here. The Volt Switch doing not too much damage. Then Tapu Koko is going to go back to Eric as he sends out the Porygon Z. And then Porygon 2 is just going to go for the Tri Attack on the Porygon Z. Does over half and doesn't get any status. But here now, I believe this is, this is Eric. Eric is going to be going for the, going to be going for a Z move using Z conversion, which I'm actually not sure what Z conversion is going to do. Okay, transform into a psychic type. Okay, so just made it into a psychic type. So going to go for Tri Attack now, and while the Z conversion was pretty cool, he does live on 1 HP, but he does get paralyzed, which is unfortunate. And now the taunt is gone from the Porygon 2, which helps him out a lot. So now Porygon C is going to go for the Psyshock. Psyshock just knocks it out, so he can't recover up there, so he loses the Porygon 2, which is a very good wall. So now Chime's going to go into the I believe Pessimian, and going to go for the Earthquake just to knock out this Porygon Z. I feel like it's like literally at 1 HP. So he's going to knock that thing out, get that thing out of the way. As now Eric is going to send in the Alolan Ninetales and get that Snow Warning Blizzard up. And it's going to be really nice for his Alolan Ninetales, Alolan Sandslash, a little core he has there. So Pessimian's going to come back, and Chime's going to send in the Magirna, as Eric goes for the Aurora Veil, which I've never actually seen this move before. Kind of made the team strong. Okay, so it's more of a status move. That's an interesting move. But so now Eric is gonna go for the Hidden Power here. I would assume that's like Hidden Power Fire or something like that to hit the Magirna super effectively. As the Magirna is just gonna go for the Volt Switch right here, as Chime is going to send in the Smeargle here to set up webs, most likely. So he gets hit with the hail, so the possible Focus Sash is not there anymore. So he's gonna set up his webs now as he goes into the Alolan Sandslash. So yeah, he's gonna get the webs, which can now really hinder Eric's side of the field as Smeargle once again gets buffeted by the hail. It's probably, I would assume the Smeargle is sashed, so nothing's gonna. So this is probably just gonna kill. The Roof Break knocks it out, but now there is sticky webs on that side of the field, and we do see that the Alolan Sandslash is Life Orb. So now he goes back into the Passimian as Sandslash gets switched out into Slimy the Gastrodon, which is now going to get a speed drop from the Sticky Web, which doesn't affect it too much because Gastrodon is fast as it is, as Passimian is just going to go for close combat and do about, I think it's a bit less than a third, and they get hit by the hail. A lot of these new mons are really interesting. I don't know too much about them, but it's really interesting to see what they can do. And the Aurora Veil wears off, so now he's just going for the close combat again, as he's able to do a lot more damage this time due to the Aurora Veil being gone, able to knock out the Gastrodon. So now it's an even field, four mons on each side. And so now Eric has decided the Arachnid, and once again Sticky Web. It's kind of funny though, spidering getting caught in a Sticky Web. I just realized that, but Passimian's gonna come back, and then the Vaporeon's gonna come out here as the Arachnid goes for the Aqua Ring, which is very interesting stat. I haven't seen Arachnid, it's actually the first battle I've seen Arachnid in, so pretty interesting to see what Arachnid can do. So I just heard a notification, so I'm gonna try to close that real quick. But they do get leftovers. They get leftovers recovery there, and okay, so the Vaporeon's going for the Toxic here, try to whittle down this Arachnid, and so that shows once again probably a more standard Vaporeon, as the Arachnid goes for the Infestation, which is very interesting. We have both sides trying to whittle each other down. The hail wears off, but we have the Infestation trying to whittle down the Vaporeon, and the Toxic trying to whittle down the Arachnid. So Arachnid gets hit by Toxic damage, and then Infestation damage on the Vaporeon, which does decent damage. So Vaporeon's gonna go for the Wish to try to heal up later on, as the Arachnid goes for Leech Life. So this is going to be a this is going to be, I feel like, a bit of a looks like it's going to be a bit of a stally game with the Arachnid and the Vaporeon just getting HP and trying to drain from each other. So Arachnid, I feel like Arachnid will eventually have to switch out because of the Toxic, because of it racking up in damage. So once again goes for the Leech Life onto the Vaporeon, doing decent damage, putting it in the yellow, but Vaporeon's gonna get that Wish right after this, and Vaporeon's gonna roar this thing out. So that's nice prep on Chime's part, so he can now switch out. The Alolan Sandslash is back out, and gets caught in the Sticky Web, but now Vaporeon is free of the Infestation, gets the Wish, and now that's really good for Chime, definitely. So leftovers, and here he's gonna go for the Scald on this Alolan Sandslash, possibly trying to fish for a burn. He does get the burn on the Alolan Sandslash, which is nice. But Sandslash now goes for the Rapid Spin, getting rid of the Sticky Web on his side of the field, which is definitely good for his team. So the Sandslash is weakened, and the Vaporeon can knock it out with another Scald here. So it gets hit by the burn, and Vaporeon, actually he's going to switch out and go into the Tapu Koko here, as the Vaporeon, actually, let me see what the Vaporeon does. I don't actually remember. Yeah, the Vaporeon just goes for another Scald, which is what I definitely anticipated. I wasn't 100% sure. And he gets another burn here, which is a bit lucky on Chime's part, because the burn chance of Scald from 6th gen to 7th gen was dropped to 20%. So, a bit rare to get Scald burned, so it's good that he's able to get Scald Burst, put himself in better position against these powerful monsters like Alolan Sandslash and Tapu Koko. So here, Vaporeon's gonna come back as he's gonna switch in Zeta, the Zygarde, getting the Aura Break, and Tapu Koko using the Taunt. And now that Zygarde's taunted, if it's like a Dragon Dance set, it can't set up a Dragon Dance, and it's gonna have to use physical type moves. But Zygarde is definitely good against Tapu Koko. So he's gonna have to withdraw the Tapu Koko here. Probably doesn't have the HP Ice Tech or anything like that. So he goes into the Arachnid, and Zygarde's just gonna go for the 1,000 Arrows, which doesn't do that much damage to Arachnid. So definitely Arachnid is a very solid switch into a 1,000 Arrows from the Zygarde, and he's gonna get hit by the Toxic here, just whittling this thing down more and more as the battle goes on. So still pretty even here, but a lot of Eric's mons are status. So now Chime switches into the Magearna as Arachnid goes for the Leech Life. The Leech Life is not going to do anything to Magearna whatsoever. And Magearna's just such a powerful Pokemon that I've seen. I've seen it used well, and I've seen it used not so well. So, but I've definitely seen it. When I've seen it used well, I've seen it do a ton of work. And once again, Arachnid getting chipped down by the poison. Magearna just going for a Dazzling Gleam here, doing a bunch of damage to the Arachnid as Arachnid goes for Liquidation, which is able to knock out the Magearna with a crit. I'm not 100% sure if that mattered or not, but he was able to knock out the Magearna, which is big for the big for Eric's side now that he has that threat out of the way. So Electric Terrain is going to disappear that turn as Chime now switches into the Passimian, and in here he is going to go for the Rock Slide. And the Rock Slide is able to knock out the Arachnid, so once again the game has been evened back up. It's 3-3. This is a very close match. So now he's going to send in the Tapu Koko, which is burned, and going to get the Electric Terrain back up. And then now the Passimian is going to get switched out into the Zygarde, and as the Tapu Koko is going to go for the Dazzling Gleam, and the Dazzling Gleam does about half to the Zygarde, and then Tapu Koko's leftovers and burn damage, so it's not really gonna do much for him. So then Zygarde's just going for the 1,000 Arrows, and Tapu Koko's just gonna get sacked off right here to the Zygarde, and it's gonna be a crit, but I don't think the crit mattered. Correct me if I'm wrong though, if you're watching this. So now Eric's gonna switch into the Alolan Ninetales, get the No Warning Blizzard back up. Definitely a very solid switch in Zygarde, as right here Zygarde's just going for the 1,000 Arrows, and the 1,000 Arrows just 1,000 Arrows isn't able to kill, so he can just go for the Freeze Dry here and knock out this Zygarde. So Zygarde's down, and now Vaporeon comes back out. I believe it's 2-2. Yeah, it's 2-2. Ninetales uses Freeze Dry on the Vaporeon, doing a bit less than half, but he gets to the freeze, which is pretty huge. But Scald was able to melt the ice, so it wasn't actually that huge. So goes for the Scald. He's able to knock out the Ninetales with a crit. I'm not too sure the crit mattered. I don't think it mattered, but correct me if I'm wrong once again. My knowledge of 7th Gen is not the best, but hopefully we'll get better as time progresses. So now Eric sends out the Alolan Sandslash, his last mon, and so he goes for the Earthquake here on the Vaporeon, which is not going to do too much, and Vaporeon should be able to knock this thing out with a Scald. So I think that is game. That is game for this matchup between Chime and Eric. Chime was able to come out with the 2-0 victory in a very close game. Definitely very solid play and prep from both sides. Thank you all for watching this video for the IBL. Make sure to go subscribe to all of the coaches that do have channels in the IBL. Remember to go check out also possibly the analyst. I'm not sure if my link will be in the description down below, but if you want to check me out, my YouTube is 681shadow. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and share the video, and I will see you all next time.